the Pope, has died, who continues to reign. The whole world comes to a halt. Kings, presidents, ministers, princes, generals. A human life has been extinguished. A throne on earth is left vacant. Every time a pope dies, the great ones of the earth gather and pay tribute. He is not just the spiritual leader of millions, he is a head of state, and today the earth remains silent. But what about heaven? Who reigns when the leaders of the world die? Who remains when human thrones crumble? Today we will talk about the King who will never die, the King who needs no successors, the one whose authority does not come from human votes or state protocols, the only one who continues to reign when kings and popes have died. This is not a message of human criticism, it is a proclamation of eternal life.
From the heart of Rome, where religious and political leaders are mourned and thrones are left empty, Pastor Durán leads us through a series of thought-provoking messages that take us beyond grief and beyond history to the only one who conquered death. When popes and kings die, King lives forever.
Is the man who has gathered the greats of the earth in a single morning. Who is the one who, upon dying, causes kings, presidents, and millions to fall silent? It is the Pope, the Bishop of Rome, the visible head of the Roman Catholic Church. For Catholic believers, the Pope is not simply a human leader. He is the successor of Peter, the sweet Christ on earth, as described by Saint Catherine of Siena. According to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, the Pope is the Vicar of Christ and pastor of the entire Church on earth. It also teaches that the Roman Pontiff, by virtue of his office, has supreme, full, immediate, and universal power over the whole Church. Power that he can always exercise with full freedom. The term Pope comes from the Greek papas or papas, which means father, and appears in ancient literature such as in Aristophanes and Menander. In Homer, it indeed referred to a priest, a symbol of respect and closeness. In the West, the word began to be used in the 3rd century, generally applied to bishops as evidenced in the letters of Cyprian. It was not until the end of the 4th century, and especially in the 5th, that the title began to be exclusively associated with the Bishop of Rome, who was called Papa Urbis Roma, the Pope of the city of Rome. By the 9th century, the title of Pope was reserved exclusively for the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Today, the Pope is seen by Catholics as the supreme spiritual leader of the Catholic faith. But the influence of the Pope is not limited to his own flock. His voice resonates beyond the borders of Catholicism. Throughout modern history, popes have built bridges to other Christian denominations, religions, and political leaders. For example, John Paul II opened dialogues with Lutherans, Orthodox, Anglicans, and even with Jewish and Muslim communities. Benedict XVI, the German theologian, worked on theological rapprochement with Eastern Orthodox, and Pope Francis, the first Latin American pope, took interreligious dialogue to new stages, meeting with Islamic, Jewish, Hindu leaders, and promoting global alliances around social and political issues. For many, the Pope has been a symbol of unity, religiosity, and diplomacy. His figure surpasses the realm of the temple and reaches the stage of global forums. Few think about it when they see him in his white cassock, but the Pope is not just a religious leader, he is also a head of state, and not just any state. The Vatican City, formally founded in 1929 through the Lateran Pacts, is a sovereign state recognized internationally. It occupies just 44 hectares, but its influence spans the entire world. Unlike any other religious leader, the Pope combines two crowns, one spiritual and one political. There is no other faith leader who receives presidents, ministers, and ambassadors as equals on the diplomatic stage. Every country maintains an ambassador to the Holy See. Every papal visit is received with state honors, red carpet, anthems, and ceremonial guards. A single example is enough to illustrate. John Paul II, the Polish Pope, not only led pilgrimages and massive masses, his influence was decisive in the collapse of communism in Eastern Europe. His tacit alliance with political leaders like Ronald Reagan, among others, marked a change in the course of world history. Pope Francis also acted as a mediator in contemporary political conflicts, from facilitating the rapprochement between the United States and Cuba to intervening in peace processes and discussions on migration and the environment at an international level. And in dark times like the Second World War, Pope Pius XII exercised his diplomatic influence. Although his actions regarding Nazism remain a subject of debate, his role as a global political actor is undeniable. But not every papal intervention has been a beacon of light. Some popes, as in the case of the agreements with Mussolini, also gave tacit support to authoritarian regimes seeking to protect ecclesiastical interests amid power plays. Pope Bergoglio has died, just as John Paul II and Benedict XVI, Paul VI before him. Every time a pope dies, the world mourns. Religious and political thrones tremble. Flags are lowered to half-mast. Leaders from all over the world, from east to west, sent their official delegations. Presidents, kings, and prime ministers appear, not only as a sign of spiritual respect, but also as political recognition. But I want to tell you, something that doesn't change, something that doesn't depend on human elections. There is a throne that is never left empty. There is a king who died, but who now lives, and will live forever. In the book of Revelation, John the Apostle fell as if dead before his presence, and Jesus said to him, "Do not be afraid. I am the first and the last, and the living one. I was dead, but now I am alive forever and ever, and I have the keys of death and Hades." Revelation 1, verses 17 to 18. Today the thrones of men tremble, but the throne of Christ remains firm, eternal, unmovable. The Bible declares, "The Lord has established his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom rules over all." Psalm 103:19. This King of the universe not only controls the heavens and the earth, he is also calling you. He is not looking for ambassadors to represent him from afar. He wants to rule your heart. Today, while men mourn the fall of their leaders, I want to draw your attention to the only King who never dies, the only one who offers eternal life, the only one worthy of your faith, your hope, and your loyalty. Christ lives, Christ reigns, and his throne awaits you. Perhaps today, while the world mourns the death of a leader, you also carry a more personal mourning in your heart. Perhaps death has taken someone you loved, and you feel there are empty thrones in your life, spaces that no one can fill. Let me tell you, the only one who conquered death, the only one who can give eternal life, is Jesus Christ. He is not just a name in an ancient book. He is life itself, the King of the universe, and the King who also wants to reign in your heart. If the governments of this world have promised you and failed, if kings and leaders have lived far from the wounds and struggles of their people, if you have seen many rise as little Caesars in their jobs, on their fragile thrones, then listen to this. Christ is different, Christ is true, Christ is humble, and Christ is the Lord of Lords. When popes and kings die, Christ lives and reigns. He remains on the throne, not sitting with arms crossed, but wielding the sovereign scepter of the universe, governing with justice, mercy, and truth. Direct your faith to the one who does not die. Entrust your life to the one who does not fail. Surrender your heart to the King who lives and who will never abandon his throne. His name is Jesus.